if you're currently out there and you may be considering leaving your day job, your 9 to 5, your corporate gig, or even your business, perhaps you feel stuck, which is a bad place for a man or a woman to be, feel stuck. One of the things I would ask you to consider before you take that leap is to get really clear on your life's, what I call big purpose, your mission. Not to get overly caught up in terminology here, but what I have found in my own life and from so many people that I've been able to work with, to coach and support, it's those who are clear on their calling, their life's work, their way to earn a living, usually by serving, helping, making a difference for others. Those tend to be the happiest people that I know. My belief is that over 90% of Americans, they're not in the right job. The job doesn't play into their strengths, their passions, their big purpose. And therefore, they don't do a good job at that job. And therefore, you see it as the customer, where customer service is just not very good. Because these people aren't motivated, they're not hungry, they're not happy, they're not purposeful. So one of the first things I would recommend is get clear on your life's big purpose, your what I call mission. A lot of times those missions end in INGs, not always, and they don't have to, but that could be teaching, accounting, problem solving, engineering, mentoring, selling, all kinds of, it could be pretty much anything. And it doesn't have to end in an ING. But oftentimes it does. But what I want people to do is to get clear on what is it that lights them up. What is it, my friends, that gives you energy? What is it that others say you were really good at? What is it you would do if you had all the money in the world? I like to help people get clear on their life's big purpose, their mission, and actually put that into a sentence format, concise and clear. Like, for example, for some people, it's some version of, like for me, it's I realize love, light, and strength and radiate it by connecting, coaching, and helping. Here's the deal. I'm clear on that. That encompasses my God-given gift, which is discernment. And I use that in the word coaching, because for me, when people start talking, when I'm connected, I easily am able to read between the lines. And I'm able to ask them questions to give them that huge aha, that insight. That's coaching. It's not telling, it's asking the questions to get them there. So for me, that external, that doing part of my big purpose, my mission, it's essentially connecting, coaching, and helping. My best days in the world are when I'm spending time connecting, coaching, and helping. If I had all the money in the world, I would spend time drinking coffee with men and women, connecting, coaching, and helping. From there, I can take my calendar out and I can say, I can compare, contrast, how much time did I spend or not in mission, in my big purpose that day, connecting, coaching, and helping. My best days, it's a lot, especially when I spend time with people that give me energy. On my worst days, and when I say worst days, sometimes it's in air quotes, because sometimes the worst days are the best days because they're the struggle, the strife, the tension, and that leads to a lot of growth. But on my worst, so-called worst days, I'm not spending much time in mission. And not every day is going to be a mission, a place for mission and big purpose all the time. Some days it might be much greater than others. But the idea here is for that man or woman to get clear on their big purpose, their mission in life. That encompasses the skills, the God-given gifts that that man or woman has, that you have, to go serve the world, to make the world a better place. And by the way, we don't have to settle for small or less, especially when it comes to money, mission and money. For example, if the gift, the calling, the passion, the energy is teaching, one can go teach and be a school teacher. That's good, that's noble, and that pays some number. Maybe that's $60K a year. It's hard to make a living. I don't know how you make a living on $60K a year. But one could also teach, and a lot of this is mindset, and make $600K a year. You teach in a classroom at 60K or teach on a stage and make 600K. Loose numbers, just examples. One could teach inside of like a school community or a mighty network where you pull people together, groups together. I'm doing it now with Thumos, my school for men. And it's ongoing monthly revenue in the form of memberships. But more importantly, I get to help a lot of men, in this case, in the school for men, get results, have an impact, progress, change their lives. So one of the first things that a man and woman probably ought to do is get clear on their big purpose, their mission in life. From there, understand, and you already know this, I'm just reminding you, not every job is going to be perfect in every way every day. There's going to be stuff, shit, that we don't want to do in any job, any business. Remember, that grass is always greener, or is it? What I think a lot of people can do a better job of, myself included, is finding that mission and big purpose in the everyday where you are now. So there's probably a lot more opportunity to, if your mission is around coaching, connecting, teaching, engaging, mentoring, inspiring, encouraging, any of those INGs, I bet you could do more of that if you're aware, if you're intentional, right where you are. It doesn't mean you don't leave your job, doesn't mean you don't leave your day job, doesn't mean you don't leave that job and go start a business. I'm gonna do another video on that, by the way, because I left corporate America after 30 years. I left Shell after 17 years. I left a high-paying job. I left behind a pension because for me, it's where I was. I had to leave. I ran out of ways to ignore my calling. I had too much potential sitting on the sidelines. That's my worst fear is probably the wrong word. But I don't like the idea of leaving potential, untapped potential and talent on the sideline. It's not being used. So I ultimately left. And I can tell you, owning my own business, it's 10 times better and 10 times harder. I'm not saying don't go do it. Most people, I don't know, maybe they should or maybe they shouldn't. I'm going to make another video about that. But I want you to get clear on your mission, your big purpose. Everyone out there that I work with and get to help, and I want you to make sure that you're doing everything you can to use your day job, your current situation as a platform to be in more mission, more purpose. Maybe nothing about your job changes other than you sit down and have coffee with somebody and ask them how they're doing, how they're really doing. Think about that. If you find mission purpose and you're making plenty of money where you are, you don't even have to make a change. You just add value from where you are. And by the way, the more you do that, the more you're energized. And the more you do that, the more you're energized, the more confident you become in this calling, this big purpose, this mission of yours. The more confident you become and the more energized you become, the more you're ready for your next step. And maybe that means stepping over into another job or stepping outside of that job completely. But you want to do that when you're clear and when you're ready. You're never fully ready, but you want to be ready enough to take a good step forward. If you're not yet clear on your big purpose in life, your mission, I've got other videos out there around how to find your purpose, your big purpose, same as mission. I'll leave you with a couple, maybe three things. Ask yourself, what would you do if you had all the money in the world? This is best done with somebody else, and or this is best done in a quiet nature, like I'm in, type setting. For an exercise like this, you're really trying to get out of the head and into the heart. You want to get into the body. What would you do if you had all the money in the world? I'm not saying you're not going to go make money. I want you to make money and be abundant, be generous, and give it away. Those who say money is the root of all evil, they're greatly misquoting the Bible. Money is the root of all kinds of evil. But for those who don't appreciate money and think it's evil, I suspect they have not given enough money away. It blesses people. It blesses me and my boys when we give money away. It's way above line. It's high consciousness. It's love. It's generosity. It's gratitude. It's kindness. That's where I choose to live. So if you had all the money in the world, what would you do with your time? Number two, what fires you up? What do you do now that you can't wait to do? If you're going to stay home, for example, on a Friday night and avoid the crowds and avoid all the alcohol and whatever else, what do you stay home to do? Binge Netflix? Okay, let's don't talk about that right now. What do you read? What do you listen to? What are you passionate about? What are you excited to do? What if you created a life around that? And I know it almost seems like it's too good to be true. I get it, man. I'm very practical, strategic, and tactical, but practical and conservative and safety minded. What if you were allowed to have your day job, your passion, your purpose, something that you were passionate about, that excited you, where you could truly make a difference and make money, even a lot of money doing it? So ask yourself that question. And then number 3, and there's much more. What will others tell you? Those that know you best. What do they tell you that you're really good at? What are they calling you for from an advice standpoint? Is it relationship help? Is it health or fitness related? Is it business advice? You're known for something, good or bad. What are you known for? Perhaps you can lean into that. And by the way, when you give advice and give help, do you roll your eyes and regret, or not regret, but dislike doing that? Or does it fire you up to reach into your competency, reach into your head, and especially your heart, to have competency and care merged together? That's what it takes. Not just competency and care, not just care. You got to have competency. But does it fire you up, energize you to be able to share your knowledge, your wisdom, your experience, including your shit? Your past mess qualifies you to give a message. And oftentimes that past mess, once you've gotten through it, gives you a message, but also a mission in life, a big purpose. Who's better to counsel and help and support addicts than someone who's been addictive? By the way, we're all addicts, even if we're just addicted to thought. That's a whole nother conversation, a level of awareness. Who better to help people going through a divorce than someone who's been divorced and now has a successful, amazing marriage? Who better to help people with weight loss struggles, fat loss struggles, than someone who grew up as a fat kid and was able to get lean and mean and make progress, enhance their health? That's credibility. That's a previous mess, of today's message, and maybe even a mission or calling for life. I hope this helps, my friends. If you need any help personally, reach out to me. I'll see if there's something I can do. I could probably have something I could send, hop on a call, whatever I can do, if there's anything I can do to help you out. Make sure whatever you do, you get clear on your big purpose, your mission, your life's mission. Maybe that changes throughout life, but do the best you can to get clear on that. And from there, you can start taking the next steps, realizing what you have right where you are in order to have more food, more energy, and mission in your current job or vocation or business. And then, of course, if you need help stepping outside of that job, you'll be clear on that big purpose and mission in order to do that with more momentum and clarity and more of a likelihood for success. Take care.